Katowice looking a little snowy here, and, well, that's exactly what it is. Weather is outside less than desirable, but if you're inside the Spodek right now, things have heated up to a point where we do find ourselves in a 1-1, and for all that the Caches is down and under, this one certainly didn't go the way of the Renegades. Welcome back. My name is Trey Senasaranthis. I am your desk host alongside of Chad Burchill, Sean Gares, and everybody else involved here on the show. Now, guys, this one did look pretty handily in the way of the Renegades' first map. Didn't turn out to be that way in the second one.
No, and they started like very slow, right? They were down 0-7, and they were able to, on round 8, have that CZ round where they had perfect timing to pick on the last guy. I was very impressed there. But both teams in both halves had low buys that actually turned the halves on their head, and it just worked out in the favor of Vitality this time around.
I mean, you're talking about halves now, right? And we're obviously talking about a game where pistol rounds are just such a big presence within these games, how they can turn the tide right away. Sean, what is your take on this?
Sure, yeah. So I actually did a telestration on the second half pistol round, which is what I'm going to go over right now. And this is Vitality basically spreading the map at the start. And you can see right here, they have a head stack outside B. And what they're doing is they're waiting it out to basically decide if it's a triple B stack or not. NBK is holding A main. And then at this point, they all regroup towards A. NBK actually has a smoke for Highway, which is going to blow up right there. And then he actually flashes sight, which is probably the most important thing here. And you can see the flash right there on the ground. And that flashes anyone in the site as well as holding the line deep spawn from right there. So the most important thing now is that Alex is actually holding a smoke primed, which he plans on throwing off of this wall to cut off the retake from the site. This is a really cool layer to the strat, and ultimately is what stops Renegades from retaking on this pistol. The quad Molotov would have potentially, forced all of the Vitality players in the open, but the smoke protects them, and that's what helps them win this round.
Yeah, and I think you're exactly right there, Sean. One thing to definitely note is the fact that because of that smoke wall, you're making the Renegades either go through the smoke and fight you, or wrapping them all the way around front site where you're making them take you right on.
It's almost like in chess, Renegades have just pulled check with the Molotov to force them out of position, and then, well, Vitality's like, well, checkmate, we have this smoke, you have to funnel and push through this, and now the Glocks can be used to their full capabilities and destroy that retake and put Vitality to a hot start in the second half.
Yeah, and they do end up picking up the next 2 rounds afterwards, and then, things start to fall in the way that they do. Unfortunately, yes, the Renegades do fall in that map, but we are fortunate enough to hear from the Vitality side of this thing. So perhaps we head on down to the sidelines, check in with Frankie, and, well, I think she's got Apex standing by.
Apex joins me now, and I want to chat to you first about that pretty bad start to the match, but you managed to bring it back on Cash. How'd you do it?
Well, on Dust 2 we were a bit sleepy. They won every aim duels. They were like so good. We didn't add any answer. We came back at the end, but that was pretty tough. CD side, as we won only 4 rounds. We managed to win a pistol round, but unfortunately we lost the eco, so that fucked up our game. And on Cash we came with another mindset. We just here like with more power, with more, I don't know, but we just felt way better and played way better overall.
And I want to talk about your pistol rounds actually, because you've not had the best pistol rounds overall here in Katowice. So how have you managed to sort that one out for this crucial game?
Well, on 4 pistol we won 3 of them. I'm really proud of the team. Well, I don't know, I just tried, I'm calling CT pistol, so I tried something else and it worked out. T-side exactly the same, so we just need to continue like that, and if we win pistol rounds, I'm pretty sure we can win the whole game.
And you got Inferno next. One more map. How are you feeling?
Well, Inferno has been one of our best maps. I'm not scared at all. I want us to go through and to go to the playoff. That's all my wish right now. So yeah, focus on the 3rd map, and I just want to wreck those Brazilians. Those Australians. What the fuck I'm saying? Sorry, but yeah, I just want to beat them right now, and that's all I want for my birthday, actually.
It's your birthday. Bon anniversaire, Apex. I'm going to let you go focus. Maybe it's going to be V for victory in this map. Let's find out. Let's head back to the desk first.
V for Victor is one thing, but he doesn't really care who's on the opposing end there. He wants the Brazilians, he wants the Australians, he wants them all, Chad.
We're quite a far away from Brazil, so we're in the Southern Hemisphere. It doesn't really matter.
Chuckle out of it too.
I get the point. I get the point. But yeah, in that matchup there, round 21, I think that's when you could see it was done and dusted, where they were able to get 2 almost free kills on that upgrade round where MBK had the AK. And that was the turning point on Cache.
Yeah, and for what is this head-to-head of JKS and Apex? Now, JKS, having been this star, he's always been touted as a guy with raw potential and certainly enough to put firepower and really kind of change the tide of games on his own when he shows up. That being said, he has shown up in a major way here in Katowice.
He has, and particularly on Inferno, the map we're going to right now, he's been so dominant at that B bomb site, playing aggressive initially, falling back to the triple box area, being dynamic actually a lot, and Renegades puts a lot of pressure on him regardless of the map, playing solo.
Yeah, the T-sides have been a problem for Renegades, though. We do actually have a video, I'm not sure if we can bring it up, but it is of Renegades with a quicker strategy where they actually pop through the mid smoke. And they have, you know, against Astralis, they just got locked on out, but that is the best team in the world, whereas Vitality right now, this is quite an even showing. I think Dust 2, even though the scoreline was quite drastic, it was still a close game of CS. It wasn't necessarily anything that was a blowout, even though the scoreline suggests it was just Renegades playing every situation perfectly. Move on to Cage. I think that's more of what we're going to expect when we move into Inferno.
Yeah, and Inferno being that decider here, we've actually seen this one go 1-1. We're going to see it go all 3 maps, where in which in the first map, this was looking very much in the hands of the Renegades. Sean, when we look at Inferno, do we see a much better pound-for-pound matchup rather than a landslide?
I think so. I would side actually Vitality for the first time in this entire series. I think I would give them the edge now in the series going into this last map. And that's because I think their executes on T side and their movement around the map is a lot more fundamentally sound than Renegades on Inferno.
They're the more comfort level.
Yeah, exactly. So Alex is willing to take risks out the apartments whenever, you know, NBK will make a call based on his reads. And I don't know if Renegades is willing to take that risk in a default.
Now, Chad, I know you did say that you agreed here with the sentiment that Vitality would come out on top, that you have to give them a little bit of the edge. But what are some silver linings and perhaps win conditions on the other side?
For Renegades, the good thing is Gratisfaction, JKS, Jacob, and Azza are all playing well. Like, sure, Liaz is down the bottom here, but you don't really need to harp on that. 4 players are showing up today. It's just not a carry factor coming out from the guys from Renegades. It's just a team effort thus far. Now, if they can carry that through right now, sure, they definitely have a chance. And they are going to start on the CT side of this map, so they can just lock down. They need to put up, I think, you know, an 11-4, maybe even a 12-3 half, because we haven't been completely impressed by their T sides thus far.
Well, you talk about the CT side, Sean. I mean, you have anything to add on that notion? Because we know that it is very important to get a good step off in the right direction.
Yeah, and I think that video that I was talking about before, we can actually throw that bad boy up on the screen.
We might be able to, and that would sound like a good plan. I would be okay with that, 110%.
Here it is. Okay, so this was the strat I was talking about. They used that Molotov first to go into Boiler Room to keep a Boiler player out of that position. Means he has to fall back a little bit passively. When the mid-smoke from the CTs comes down, they throw their own deep smokes and they pounce through it with flashbangs. Now what this can do is isolate the arch player. You can see this smoke right here. The flashes from Azra are going to come through as well. And off of this, they just pounce and barrel up middle. And all you want to do here is really just isolate this solo lane player, because this is early in the round. It means that the B players are still going to be playing 2 players over towards that site, and you can overwhelm, maybe get yourself a mid to B, or even just get a free pick and then posture for more aggression.
And the most fascinating part to me is that Renegades has never been a team that we tout for having that tactical prowess or doing things just right and proper in the moment, but it would appear as though they're very well oiled and drilled right now.
What triggers me a little bit about that round is that you mentioned it is early in the round. They haven't forced the rotate yet from B, so they know at least 2 people are B. They get a kill arch side, and they go into CT spawn. Now, there's still 2 people B, and there's less people at A, at the absolute worst case scenario. So why are they going B?
So look, I agree with you.
Gamble for
sure.
sure.
The mid to B is one of the worst positions you can find yourself in. You're trading map territory and then you're completely closed in by the CTs. If you can get there early enough and you catch their rotations, then their communication is quite poor, then people might be a little bit lazy as they round the corner from CT spawn looking to stop you in their tracks instead of staying back towards ruins, instead of staying in the B bomb site and allowing you to come. That's just against more jittery teams. That clip right there was in the minors, right? That was against a team that was the Vici Gaming squad, who, are very quick on the rotation. Their communication isn't as precise. Hopefully we don't see moves like that against the upper echelon of Counter-Strike.
Moves like Jagger might be in store here, but more importantly, I think it is, as I said, a very well and oiled drill Renegades. They are looking like they're on form, specifically when it comes down to shots. Now, we can take a look at some numbers here, and if we look on the side of Vitality, it doesn't look like anyone is really boasting any positive sort of KD there at all.
Representing the red in that French flag.
So the first map, sure, was a blowout, but when you look at the stats right now on HRTV.org for both these teams, nobody from the side of Vitality is in a positive KD, right? Everybody is in a negative position, and MBK is actually the highest with -2. Whereas for Renegades, 4 players, Gratisfaction, JKS, Jacob, and Azza, the names I mentioned before, are all in the positives as far as the KD's going. So if you just look at stats alone, you would have assumed Renegades would have won this 2-0.
And in a perfect world, they might have. But that's just not how the cookie crumbled, is it, Sean Garrett?
We're not in China, so...
Yes, that is indeed correct. Well, it does look like we're about ready to get into the game, so we'll just stop blabbering on. I've seen all of your concerns for starting the match. We're going to do just that. It's Inferno, and it's Vitality and the Renegades heading out to try to win this best of 3 in style. And when I talk about style, I'm talking about Henry G and Sadakis to bring it to you.
I am a stylish chap. Thank you so much. I'm sitting beside someone who's, I think, blind when it comes to fashion. Hi, Henry. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm feeling stylish today, don't worry.
You are stylish. I just like to pick on you. That's how I
It's
like
all
to open
kids.
my segments. This one's going to open seemingly quickly. They're already at the mid-wall of the Vitality side as they start out T-side approach. Pistols have gone in their favor, just to note 3-1. This one looks like it's a little bit more even, and so far it's actually favoring Renegades, but the site is surrounded, and they've got problems. Not until JKS arrives. He cuts off Zywoo, and BK gets Leia in response, but still he's left in a 1-on-2 with Bomb down front library as well. There's no need for him to face him at this point in time. They just need to control that situation. Just keep that bomb exactly where it is with 1:10 to play.
Well, the CTs will stick together. That's the way to do it. And MBK steals away the bomb. So they will have to start wondering what's going on here. He'll fake out the plant and force one of the players to peek. And that's going to be the first going down. Renegades win the round, but it wasn't comfortable towards the end there. They were juked out by the fake plant. And that's the way it should go down, to be fair. They stayed together and made sure they challenged and traded off the kill. So it's going to be Jacob to close it out. And it will be now 3-2 in Pistols. As we go into the third map here, the final map, of course, to decide who will be making it to the playoffs next. Zywoo with 2 lovely frags to the Glock, but JKS comes in strong with his USP, manages to wreck the aforementioned player, get that bomb in position, and at that point, MBK left in a very difficult 2 versus 1. They are going to force buy in the second, though. Could have got the AKs in the third, opting for CZs, Deagles, PD50s, and utility here in the second round. Both options certainly viable. I prefer to have the firepower in the third. For this reason alone, you can see the CTs actually have 5 SMGs here. You're going to have a mixture of UMPs and MP5s. If you had the AKs in the third and you had a Glock round here, you could potentially guarantee yourself a round against this sort of firepower. But this still makes this round pretty even in that sense, because the CZs at range can definitely go toe-to-toe with the likes of the UMP.
Zywoo. Already down at the bottom side of mid. JKS just peeking, jumping to see happen. I know that he's blinded on the 4th or 5th jump. Certainly will call that, but he's got a Molotov to slow them down.
His teammate rotating in. They were going to leave JKS alone there, but after he spots a couple, detects a bit of threat on the other side, he does call for rotations. He's going to leave 3 on the A site, and there's now 5 players on the Vitality side heading towards middle. Gratisfaction, of course, the AWP now at the MP5. We'll have to fend off this A attack that is smoked towards Library. Looks like they're focusing on the arch side here. As sees the smoke, turtles up on the bomb site here. They've got 3 players on the side, no one in pits, so watch out for that if it becomes an issue.
Yes, waiting inside, flash deep to the pit, no one there. I'm just trying to catch the T's on entry. Caught off by 1. Yes, at the top of the box, needs to be careful. He finds a second kill before going down, that's good enough. Naza's still under threat, switches to the pistol, he's overwhelmed. Bomb plant denied. That's the important aspect of the round for Renegades. If they're gonna lose 3, don't let a bomb plant go down as well, because then you're in a world of trouble. They control that situation.
They certainly do. The fact that they just win the round against a force buy is absolutely fine, because they're going to keep 2 players up, but they know it's full eco next for Vitality. They've obviously detected the upgraded pistols, and when you dink them, you're going to see they've got helmets as well. So they know they can take this round a little bit easier. Don't have to be over-aggressive. They're going to have Orcs come in the hands of Liaz and Jacob, and they can keep those UMPs up and alive. We'll see if Vitality can get anywhere near the B bomb site. Looks like they're going to go for a straight-up rush towards Banana here, sending 4 players this side of the map. Jacob ready to greet them on the other side. Good incendiary, and lucky to get a couple of kills there, considering he was so blind.
Yeah, he got Zywoo. He was like a turret with a slow spray to the right, and in the last bullet he shot got the kill. It's RPK to run up around, JKS down. Naza now has to hold it with just the UMP. He'll drop RPK with the kill on the AUG, and a 1-on-2. Bomb on his back. Smoke down?
Smart.
He could make this very awkward if he pushed all the way through it. Wanted to just check to make sure no one's close, but I thought he would go further as well. I agree with you. Let's get caught off by Gratisfaction as a result.
I thought pushing that smoke, holding the garden position, that could have been quite powerful, as they didn't have the information as to where he was, but decided to go back. And it's the UMP waiting for him. But great damage done financially to Renegades there. That's a full eco, remember, just some BD50s and stuff. Not really much to write home about. They managed to actually get 3 kills in the end. No bomb plant though, that would have been fantastic, but they are going to buy regardless. ZywOo and Galil though. This is where we'll see a lot of banana control come in. It does suggest we will, because 3 players on the CD side heading there. The incendiary to lock them in towards that position. ZywOo might be touched by the flames and needs to be very careful, actually not reaching him, so he's okay. Okay, sending up the smoke towards the arch side here. Go for some fast mid control as they flash through.
Graf's gonna back off. Deep smoke, one in arch already. Smoke doesn't yet bloom. That gives Azza the shot, but so too does Apex find one in return. So quite a delay before the smoke bloomed, and Peak came out early. It's gonna follow up with a wraparound as Apex takes down Lias. Hold off inside of the site. Apex bomb to go down. And a 4-on-2. It might be best for Renegades to concede and try and get the exit kills at this point in time. Great response. Vitality T side to pick up a round.
Yeah, very quick approach as well. No doubt in their mind they were heading towards middle. Smoke's down, flashbang towards garbage, trade out the kill, and they pretty much had to commit at that point because the bomb had been spotted. It did go down, but obviously recovered very quickly. They pinned to the site from arch and quad and apartments and managed to get a great kill on the kill over ZywOo there. That really opened things up. They're going to have a very successful finish here. Renegades will have to save 2 orgs they've got. Their money is going to be broken after this. They lost too many players in their anti-eco rounds. So 2 orgs will survive. You can be right by the bomb here. Set in the pit. Inferno's a little bit odd in that respect. You'd think on other maps you'd have to be further away, but you can survive there, no problem. So the question is now, do Renegades force buy off the back of these 2 saved orgs? They might want to take a timeout and discuss their options. Liaz has got 3,200. They could drop another UMP, Jacob with 3K as well. And they certainly are going to go for it. This was the sequence of events. 2 Ts facing that final player on the A site. No problem at all. But this round might be slightly more problematic as the UMPs come out once again. It's Azza, who just has a FAMAS. In terms of firepower, Vitality have a massive advantage.
Certainly do. Apex, Alex, NBK all getting out toward Boiler. Smoke goes down. Gratisfaction to the Cubby, as is supporting him from front library. Supporting so long as they wrap around. He's not in a position where you can actually guide him out of that position. Yeah, it's getting reset on the balcony. Started down below in the pit, he now elevates himself up above, and JKS is rotated over early. He'll go directly to the site. Typically your B player that rotates still stays toward Arch so he can be the first back to B, but he seemingly wants to get a little more aggressive in the A site with his defensive position.
Just a note while we have this lull, NBK has won 6 entry duels with the team. That's 3 times more than his teammates, so he's doing a great job in that respect. Managing to crack open the sites, no problem. Trade out kills as they head back towards B. 3 players there and the bomb, but that starts to head back. It does cause a bit of confusion here. The CT's not 100% sure what's happening as Vitality will be faking the B side. They're going to leave 1 player there. That's going to be ZywOo. He's just showing as much presence as he can. Molotov's over. He's hoping that will keep those 3 CT there as long as possible as they fully commit towards A. But Liaz actually gets an AK now. They've got a fighting chance here.
Absolutely, they do. Inside of the apartments, already spotting the fact that they've gotten in front library. He's lost his teammate inside a graveyard, however, so he can't overcommit to the peak because that takes everyone down in B. They're still waiting for the rotation to the library. 1 top mid. Gratisfaction removed. ZywOo peeking it from quad is going to find him all too easily, it seems, as Azza falls to Apex. Lias was waiting for his chance to go back in. He'll get it now to find 1-on-2 Apex, but bomb still down. NBK behind the box, 6 HP, is so vulnerable. He's relying on ZywOo, but ZywOo's tagged as well. They both are 21 versus 5, but Lias, patient as ever inside of the apartments, is going to get away with it.
That is incredibly patient. Perfect word for it. The fact he gets that 1 kill with the UMP, upgrades to the AK-47. Most players would jump in the pit there, be ready to fight and challenge towards the bomb site. He stays strong in the apartment zone, waits for his teammates to rotate in, and manages to best ZywOo in a 1 versus 1. That is not easy to do. But as you mentioned, tagged up, just needed to hit 1 bullet. He preempts the position behind the pillar and manages to defuse the bomb. And it's going to be 4-1. Renegades winning off their force buy. I mean, that's off the back of saving 2 orgs in the round they lost, and that was a great shot towards the pit. He's had some really interesting moments, Liaz, a player we haven't discussed too much, but really coming into his own in this best of 3. 4-1, money there for Vitality. But this will be the last of it if they lose this round. It looks like they're heading towards B with conviction as they look to battle for control. CT's there as well. They have to get through the flames first.
Jacob is still holding it off, but Jacob's got RPK down. And Made just for good measure down Banana. No one inside of the cubby at this point. So ZywOo's going to hold. Apex will push up. Half wall peek. No Molotovs deep. They can try and take advantage of that. Counter flash. Both teams refusing to give up Banana. Or at least the B side. They're going to keep both here. They'll give up the top side of Banana, I should say, but not the B side. They're not going to rotate off this early. And there's 3 players inside of it from Vitality's perspective, bomb included. 2 towards CT is always a bit of a risk. Smoke in position, sure, you've got the boost. You can see above 1, but you don't have anyone else to try and add to that. First kill found by JKS. Jacob's the one on the boost. JKS got that blind. He shot through a gray screen and still got away with it. I thought maybe they would try and flash him in with that position instead, but it works out for 1 nonetheless.
5-on-3 retake. Apex 2 HP. He doesn't really have much to work with at all. He'll sit towards Emo right now, but if Incendiary comes into position, he is certainly dead. They start to throw those grenades in now, just trying to flush out the key positions like new boxes, and they'll go together as they access through CT spawn. ZywOo finding nothing but headshots here as Alex joins in as well. All of a sudden, is shifting in favor of Vitality. It was looking so good for the CTs, but JKS got to work it out for him here. Gets the first kill towards CT spawn, has to go for the defuse here. He will jump on it, but not commit. He actually doesn't have the kit, Matt, so he's not going to be winning this round, although he does find all the kills. Might be able to survive with the AK-47. He is, absolutely. So good work in that respect. If he had the kit, could have gone for the full defuse there, but doesn't happen. And ZywOo turning up here in style as he manages to find it. Absolute obliteration there on the B bomb site. Just when it looked like they were out of it. They lost the first pick. RPK goes down. Essentially, it's a 5 versus 3 with that CT spawn kill coming through, but they win out the round, and that's a big one to pick up.
Certainly is. 7 kills for Liaz, Jacob, and JKS. Wow. All 3 of them on the same total. They lead the way. I take that back, ZywOo's got 8. I thought it said 6. It's 8. But either way, it's back and forth rounds for 3 straight. Not a lot of money left on the CT side. Both teams really chomping at it at this point. So this round determines quite a bit. Vitality T side, if they get this, they could stretch their legs out to 4, maybe 5 rounds, forcing the CTs into a very awkward double eco situation. And Renegades are desperate to try and hold on to the momentum.
Go for a 3-man stack towards quad. 1 boosted up on that position. On to the left as well by the flower pots. So leaving just 1 player towards B. I believe that's JKS. He has got the AUG, or the AK, I should say. So not going to have the scope potential, but certainly has the 1-tap. 4 players there. If they fully commit, he can't really do anything about it, especially this position in CT spawn. He'll be smoked out just like that, and what can he really do here apart from spray? He actually does a ton of damage. He won't know it, but he's taken Apex and MBK down to very low health, but at this point, not even worth going for it. He had to be playing towards coffins, playing CT spawn, you know, with the solo anchor. 1 smoke and you're out of it.
Yeah, it's the right call. Back away from this. Let it go. Bomb. Planted, spreading out. 5 players still alive on either side. Very rare situation. It may not end that way. Certainly no one really hunting on the Vitality side for obvious reasons. They themselves without the money. Clear out ruins just to double check. Make sure no one's going to try and pull a Kirby. And then head for the hills. Into retirement. Not quite. Map 3. 2-1, that's what this game stands for. Advancement match in the major. Winner of this gets a few days off to reset, get ready for the Spodek Arena. Talked about it on the desk at the start of the series, that Vitality, it is based on ranking. It is based on an elo. There's a way that the teams kind of reseed themselves based on results. But on paper, if you looked at it, maybe Vitality had the easiest route. Maybe that's also because they took so long to find form. At the same time, Renegades has been performing so spectacularly, it's hard to argue that they're really an easy opponent. Nonetheless, the point I make is that both teams could have a harder time if they fall down and end up against someone like FaZe, who could easily find themselves in the next round.
If you want to talk about the easier routes, you look at the wins for Vitality so far, it's against Big, Vici, Vega Squadron, Cloud9, they lost to Na'Vi, and now against Renegades. On paper, that sounds really tantalizing, but this is a new look Renegades, of course, so that's not quite the same path as it looks on paper, but still, yes, they arguably have had a bit of an easier run here, but still working hard in this best of 3.
This is a clever little stack, isn't it? We saw this yesterday. One behind the pillar, two on the roof, and it's just a slaughter. Walk into it and get sprayed and picked apart. Gratisfaction, still with no gun, wants to go aggressive, get more information toward Boiler. Caught off a little bit by that second jump, I'm afraid.
Yes, he was a little bit desperate at that point. But still a chance. JKS once again smoked out towards that CT spawn area, but enough time to rotate through ruins. In terms of grenades, he's got one flashbang. He can bounce off the right-hand side wall there. But looking for headshots here, not quite as crisp as usual. RPK takes him down, and with that, the round will be theirs. They're going to tie things up at 4-4 on the T side of Inferno. They keep 3 players alive. Liaz and Azza will have to hold on to the little they have. 1 AUG and a UMP. There is some nice utility to go with it as well. They've got 2 smokes, 4 flashbangs between them. But right now, Vitality looking like they're dangerous. Apex said in the interview he considers Inferno to be one of their best maps, so he had no fear going into this one. Nice to get his thoughts in between the maps and see where it's going, how they're feeling. Explained at Dust 2 that they felt like they were too good, and the individuals, as Azza looking to take the AK. Yeah, they'll spray that smoke, absolutely. He needs to time this well. Grab it, get the hell out of there. Knife out, head towards T-spawn. You don't want any more kills there, you just want to hold on to the AK. Which you will.
You will indeed. 4-4. So we talked about this. There wasn't going to be much available to Renegades, even trying to save in the previous. 4 rounds already, T-side 4 Vitality. This week, I think definitely we've seen more stabilization in rounds between T and CT side. And I think that comes to the fact that we're getting the more established teams in, execution-based. We're seeing slower pace, trying to bait out utility a little bit more. Interestingly, from Liquid's perspective and talking to them, utility isn't as required with the AUGs, but yet it seems to be the case that everyone's still winning out rounds that they baited out the CTs early. So the execution is more prevalent in the new Legend stage. The reason I get to all this is that Vitality, with 4 rounds already, is that enough or is it not? Last week I might have said toward 5 rounds, you're probably sitting pretty. This time I'm not so sure. Gratisfaction, as a good setup. 1 aggressive at quad with the AWP, finds the shot. They then run away from that and try and wrap around, and Azza's already standing tall. Oof, but he's tagged to 15. I thought Zywoo might get a free shot toward him.
He needs to fall back. If he challenges that any longer, he's in trouble. That's more likely. Get the AWP in that position. He can actually hold the angle and check it. 5 versus 2 now. Renegades bouncing back as Alex looks to cause some financial damage here. Can he find a single kill? He does take Liaz down to 24 HP. And his teammate with the bomb heading in. It's MBK, who's actually given himself away now. So any ideas he had in that regard have been shut down. Satisfaction down to 3 points of AR after touching the Molotov, but still a very strong position towards Library. Look how low they are on the A side. Everyone in the red. Still a chance here.
There's absolutely flash in. Red is going to be dead as Alex finds both. Over top of the box, spectacular second shot. Good flashbang. But he's got to hold his nerve as he goes 1-on-3.
He's getting towards Graveyard here. If he had a smoke, that would actually boost his chances a lot. Gratisfaction has to wait for his teammates to arrive.
This would be an ace if he gets them. Holding still. Jacob, Gratisfaction in. Gratisfaction's so low. He's the one on the AWP, so he's going to try and clear out the site for his teammates. Jumping up, Jacob's down. Spots out the low HP player, but goes for the high. He's got a chance in this. It could be the ace from Alex to give. Oh, Vitality, the round by Gratisfaction through the wall on the AWP. 3 HP defuse, and Renegades take back the rounds.
It looked like Alex had locked it in. He killed all the high HP players. He was on for the ace, but it's the wall bang from Gratisfaction that saves the day. I can't believe it. You rarely see that land. And he actually pulls it off. Alex will be frustrated. I'm not sure he realizes how close he was to winning that. He was so low. 1 bullet from the AK would have done it. Gratisfaction, great round from him to hold his nerve there against Alex in that sort of situation. He's already got 4 kills. You're like 1 HP. Alex had 1 bullet in his AK there. That was the problem. So as soon as he had 1 bullet left, he couldn't just keep challenging it. He probably knew he was low HP. He had to go for the reload, and that's when Gratisfaction pulls the trigger. And we'll find ourselves 5-4. What an exciting game this is turning out to be. RPK fends off the aggression towards Banana with ease. Just another nice quick shot. Zywoo, so talented. This guy's got such a bright future ahead of him.
What a crucial round as well, because Vitality would have found 5, and there would have been absolutely nothing for Renegades to work with. A single shot denies an ace clutch. It would have been a 1-on-5 as well. Two
So
inside of the
close.
site. That's unbelievably close.
Deserved it. The one bullet in the AK, the reload, decided everything. He had 3 more bullets perhaps, could have done it.
Asa just waits to hold. RPK wants to go around the corner, no smoke in position yet. They're down 2 men already on the Renegade side. Another reset potential here as well for Vitality, so they could still get away with a very important round. Resetting the CTs mid-half, those are the crucial ones. Those are the ones you want.
So Asa plays in front of that smoke. He's confirmed they're not necessarily committing here, but they're waiting for it to go down. They will re-smoke spawn. They've got plenty of utility here. And towards the coffins, and taken down. What a shot that is from MBK. Gratisfaction still fancies it though. He's got a slight chance of maybe getting a collateral. That's the only way they can win. As Iwu takes him down and Liaz dropped as well. It looks like Vitality have reset the Renegades here, and it's quite a disruptive one. It's got to the point where you might as well force buy this because you're double eco at this stage. 1,400 for 3 players, 2,400 for Liaz and Jacob. Yeah, they might as well buy PD50 armor at this stage. I'll take a tactical timeout either way as Vitality tie things up once again. It's 5-5 on their T side of Inferno here. Renegades have no cash. What is the call? Most teams will force buy this. You don't have to. You can take the full eco. Casal will chime in now. This is the 3rd and final map. Apex has looked strong. It's Zywer at the top though, 10 kills. He looks unstoppable. With his 1v1 duels with the AK, no one's touching him right now.
Absolutely true. Just to note as well, Alex has 6 kills. 4 were in that round.
Yeah. If he'd have won that round, my God, been one of the best of the tournament.
It absolutely would have been, no question about that, and it would have potentially meant that Vitality sits 6-4 right now on the T side.
But he did do enough damage. They won the follow-up round. It still had a similar effect there because they win that round convincingly, and here we are. Force buy, probably Vitality win it, then they're full eco again. So it still had a massive effect on the game.
Think of Dust 2, how far away we are from that when Vitality didn't even look like they were in this series. And Renegades, by your words, Henry,
Yes.
played the best T side you've seen on Dust 2.
In a while.
In a while.
I think I said a few.
Yes, you can say in a while. All right, I tried to.
Just to know, because we don't see it that often anymore. No one seems to be a specialist on the map these days, and it was just nice to see someone play Dust 2 and have the proper understanding of how it should be played, and barely made any mistakes. All the mid-round calls were perfect. You just don't see it played that often anymore, and I guess teams aren't as polished, but Renegades, yes, definitely one of the best T sides I've seen in a while. So check out that demo after this if you want to go get a lesson.
Apex still just waiting if anyone will show themselves inside of B. 3 there, 4th behind at CT spawn. That's Asa. He wants to flash his teammates. Get them out in position. Blind off Vitality. Smokes go down, but they're backing off. This is a fake, and it's going to hold the boost, or the stack, excuse me, in place.
The thing is, you just have to hope they do come B. When you've got 3 players committed, you've seen these smokes, there's nothing to suggest this is a fake. You've already got players there, you might as well hope it's going to work out. It certainly won't, though. That's the only A presence. 4 Renegades taken down, they'll have to save what they can. That's Deagles, PD50s, UMPs, just nothing really. Gratisfaction didn't purchase into the surroundings of the Orpha. He wants to pick that weapon back up. All of a sudden, hopes and dreams of Renegades going 3-1, starting to crumble here. It's Vitality that looks so strong. JKS spinning the Deagle, hoping he can hold on to it at least. So like I said, they still won't have the money next round to bring anything else out. So they'll give it another go with the Deagles. The UMP, they lost Liaz. Vitality, perfect round there. Nice fake. Detected the B stack. Dropped that in. Contained everyone in that area. And found the only player towards A. Didn't drop anyone. They've got plenty of cash. Enough for the rest of the half at this point. As Zywu has $10,000. The rest of them hovering around 6K. So it's 6-5. Another round on the board for Vitality. And this one should be a similar sort of story.
So T-side lead for the French squad, trying to make their way all the way from the open qualifiers into the top 8. That would be the deepest run anyone in this event has done. Challengers absolutely still have a chance to dominate and make their way through. The only ones in so far, previous legends, Liquid and Astralis, perhaps to no one's surprise. Interesting stat, by the way, in regards to those two by Peter at HLTV. They've not lost. Oh, good flash. Fortunately, RPK was already preset to the angle, and the UMP is going to go down early. Deagle's at the ready. Flash off. JKS forced back inside of the site. JKS wants to hold it out for Apex as he crawls in as well. He's got the shot at least to shut down one Vitality player, but they're not going to stop there. They won't back off all too easily. At 13, they don't necessarily have to commit to this either, but RPK does get JKS. They know there's one more on top of the coffins, and they will subside at this point, having forced a rotation. The stat read, Liquid or Astralis have not lost to anyone other than themselves in the last 3 months. In other words, to each other, I should say.
Yes. Well,
the only ones to beat the other is the counterpart.
I get what you mean.
Look, I made it a little more confusing toward the end there. All right, Henry? Just play along.
And luckily, he did it on this round where nothing really matters here. It's a guaranteed one for Vitality. As you can see, Zywoo even has time to take his hand off the keyboard there. I'll see the bomb planted. Liaz has an AK at least. That's about as exciting as it gets. Alex getting himself on the flower ball in CT spawn, and they don't necessarily have to hunt these kills, but the fact that an AK is there for Liaz, we're going to see if they can potentially remove that. Round is definitely going in favor of the friendship. You don't want to smoke that, Alex. Yes, flashbang makes more sense. Liaz wouldn't have been flashed by it, but still, they're not overcommitting. Looks like they're just going to hold up here. Someone does come in. Zywoo can at least look towards Banana, but they really don't have to go hunting here. There's not a lot to collect. There's one AK. There's an AWP, sure, let's go for it. But might as well keep the CDs limited. They've stolen one AK, let them have it. Let's go 7-5 on the T side of Inferno. Money is okay now for Renegades. Certainly not ideal. Gratisfaction could get out of the AWP. He's got 5,400. He'll buy it. He's got enough for Kevlar. Opts with a smoke flashbang instead. So that's what we call the glass cannon. Diffuse kit for Azza as he purchases the M4. JKS will be the one to use the AK-47. Liaz throws that over quite selflessly and will be using the UMP this round. And JKS should just start. That's the way it should be. It's a little bit disappointing if you're the one who found the AK, but you want to win the game, not just pad your own stats.
Liaz, good timing to throw a nade down. I say good timing. It's a bit too soon. I thought they'd get around the corner by the time it landed. I thought it might do some damage onto 3 players that were pushing into the apartment halls. Has not. A smoke down top mid. That'll buy a little bit more space. Zywoo still waits at the bottom side of mid with the AK and a bomb. Or with the bomb and an AK if you prefer.
I prefer that.
Yeah, it makes a little more sense. Specific to the bomb that way, right?
Yeah.
Faction on the arch side. They'll peek out just as the smoke is removed, and not spotting anyone toward the mid wall. The double smoke down at pit leads them to believe it might be a bust from the apartments, but Liaz hasn't heard anything, he hasn't called it, so the rotation's already on. Molotov down, double smoke in, they have to commit. If they want to beat the rotations, they can't let flames scare them, and they're going to push through. They're going to go to Ruins, and MBK gets toward the tree. He'll cut off. Oh, I thought both. Azza does hold his nerve, and so does JKS in the sight to find a triple. Back to the form he had on Mirage yesterday against Astralis when he was time and time again finding multiple frags. It's down to just Apex.
And that's why you give him the AK-47. He has the potential to find those sort of frags. Apex, though, pretty nifty himself. We'll see whether he can actually do anything with this 3 versus 1. It's going to detect the boosted player, but it's JKS, as you mentioned, looking like his usual self now. It's going to be 7-6. Renegades will start to come back into this one. I said that. The scoreline looks very close. Remember, they're on the CT side right now. This is not a good half from them. Inferno Vitality claim it's one of their best maps, and I won't argue with it so far. But JKS with this AK-47 will work there. Potentially need a bit more pressure towards first oranges, and Molotov would have been advised, but either way, he manages to exploit on their mistakes. We're going to go into round number 14 here. Finally, Gratisfaction, some armor, some utility. They've got a full buy.
Azza, he waits out at topside middle. Gratisfaction, aggressive peek. Inside of the window, he catches NBK on the bridge. Alex was already advancing in toward the hallway. Couldn't catch him off. It was so quickly done. Oftentimes you'll see that Molotov to cut people off. Meanwhile, back over toward B. Jacob flashed off. Considers throwing the smoke. Even reset it to be a little bit closer to their side, waiting to see if he'd hear anyone, but does elect to put it down in the end. Flashes will encourage the rest of Vitality to push through it. JKM has already beat them on the rotation. He's gotten into toward the ruins. Bounce Molotov will cover off default plant as well. Bomb's not yet inside of the site, but ZywOo gets it there, and 2 more seconds, those flames are gone. A little eager, steps inside of them, takes some damage, as Jacob then tries to spray back in through the window, can't do it.
Worth a go. Didn't see many kills come through that spam. Ended the orb towards the top of coffins. That makes it work the most. But ZywOo gives himself both options at new boxes. An AK in his feet. He finds the AWP as well, but his teammates are dropping. ZywOo needs one of those great rounds, but Alex is providing damage here. There's a double kill for him. ZywOo with the third, and it goes down to the 1 versus 1. Alex unable to win out last time, and it's the same story here. Jacob will defuse the bomb. Alex keeps coming so tantalizingly close to winning these massive comeback rounds, but it is going to be Renegades tying things up at 7-7. They did a fantastic job to at least make it possible in the 4 versus 2. I thought there was a real chance with ZywOo on the AWP, but it's Alex that did most of the heavy lifting there. But once again, the 1v1 eludes him. And we go to round number 15 here. We are completely tied up. Sets the scene for a very exciting final half of this best of 3. We're going to split it right down the middle, whatever happens here. But who will take the lead? If Vitality win out their T side with 8 rounds, they'll be very confident moving on to the second half.
Absolutely, no question about that. Apex beating the Molotov, gets inside of Banana early. Second one high, he's in between the 2. No nade stack on top of it in the Astralis fashion that we've seen so many times. Deep nade, though, will certainly scratch the back of RPK. A few lashes left behind. Gratisfaction. He's quick. Unfortunately, couldn't find the sliver to fire at against Alex in the hallway. 2 toward Arch. Split off, though. Boost behind it. I think they are. Jacob, he wants to catch them all in the middle. He's got a chance to do so. Only gets 1. He was a little quicker on the trigger. He might have found 2, but that's good enough because they get away without losing any HP.
Nice boost. Didn't see that work out too often, but Jacob will make it work. Gratisfaction has been impressive this door, but only 6 kills to his name in this half. Not as explosive as you might imagine. CT side AWPing, as Alu demonstrated in the tournament, is very viable. They didn't make it just yet to this stage. We'll see now, Graz hitting the shots required. It looks like it is going to be Renegades taking this final round. 25 seconds remaining. As Alex will be there with the AK-47 once again.
Yeah.
To ace out.
Let's see if he can do it again. 1 on 4 this time, and it would be another ace potential, but as said, everyone on site this time. Pretty easily taken down. 8-7, you said it. It is going to be Renegades in the lead, only by a slim margin. 3 rounds at the end to put them there, and this is all to play for in the second half. We'll take a break. We'll join you then. Everybody wants to be a major champion. Everyone likes to win. You can too. IntelExtremeMasters.com/raffle from all of our sponsors. There's lots to be won. But this one is undetermined who will come out ahead. Renegades 8, Vitality 7. The French team will be on the defense to start off the second half.
The more favored side, preferred by all. We'll see if they can win the pistol and really increase their chances of winning out here in the third map. All on the line here. It's a massive pressure release getting to the round of 8, and like you said, having a few days off to work on any problems you might have and just kind of regain your focus as they go for a double stack here and towards the border room. Normally you see a stack on each other's head, but all the teams actually experimenting with 2 in the border like that. They've actually got 2 in the apartments as well. So a lot of firepower put towards this side of the map, and MBK is making sure it's not in vain by pushing forward and getting a bit of intel here.
JKS, though, has got a counterplay to this. They think they're clever going into Boiler and they're going to push down. Actually looked at it, but he gets both shots.
Wow.
That's rather ironic. You stack up the apartment position, you'd think that you're invincible there. You push down and all of a sudden one guy rips you apart.
Well, they know one player's at least middle still because the smoke's been deployed. Apex looking to frag out on Gratisfaction, but he gets the hell out of there. That's a smart choice. Will he be able to get away with his life? Not quite, but he has done damage towards Apex. That's enough in a 5 versus 2. The bomb will go down. This is looking very good for Renegades. Alex is their only real chance there. He's dealt with by Liaz, and it's going to be Apex in a 4 versus 1, which he has absolutely 0 chance of winning here. No kit, no health, and just a P2000. So that's going to be a very efficient round from Renegades. They hold up for that aggression as well. As we saw, the 4-man stack, had they just held it, probably would have worked out for them. They pushed for a bit of intel, realizing nothing was coming early at least, and it's JKS who's holding with the Glock and perfect position as well. We call that position Romeo for some reason, but he will be...
I think it's because it's kind of underneath the window.
Indeed.
Romeo and Juliet.
Exactly.
How romantic we are in CS.
It's one of those things. We have also got some other names for certain positions that aren't quite so romantic that can't be aired on broadcast.
They're romantic in other ways.
Yes.
They're vulgar romance.
Yes, not saving the broadcast, and I'm sure you've all got your...
The kind of romance you research on an incognito tab.
It's going to be JKS with the Glock here. Really nice stuff. He gets that second kill as well. And that long-range Glock shot on the bottom of second middle. It's great stuff. That's going to give them an edge here. And the force buy in the second round for CTs on Inferno is actually more prevalent than you would think. A lot of teams opt for this force buy here. They're actually not going all in. A couple of them down to less than 1,000, but overall, it's not expected, to be honest. And Apex will be dropped early. I thought they would get CZ armor in the smoke. You can't afford to get that out, but a bit more of a conservative approach here to make sure they have enough in that first gun round. Smoke down there for Azza. He knows he can throw this one now, pick up the other smoke. You might as well chuck it in just to see what happens.
Yeah, you get one extra.
Yeah.
So take advantage of that. Only allowed to holster 4 at the start of a round. The only one you can have a duplicate of is the flash. So to get 2 smokes is pretty good.
If they have 4 grenades and you kill them, they don't drop all 4 grenades. They will drop the most expensive one they hold at the time. So you don't get all their utility. You get 1 grenade from them. Just a little bit of a trivia for you there in this lot of action.
Yeah, otherwise you'd have to press tab, open up your looting screen.
Exactly.
Pick which ones you wanted. Just wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work. I don't think that system would work in any game. But
calm down. It's normally me that gets in trouble with other games, okay? Gratisfaction rounding the corner takes down NBK. Gratisfaction will follow that up onto RPK. Bomb planted as a result. Alex trying to get back through the arch. Slow HP on Grat from his 2 kills, but he's not the one that's nearby, and I think Alex just wants to wrap around, see if there's any guns available, see if he can get a kill for this. Gratisfaction is the one on the other side of the smoke now. Knife out. Was he expecting someone to push in?
well, if he does get a knife, that's about as exciting as it gets for him. There's no chance of defusing the bomb. He smoked out a library. He's hoping someone exits through that path, but you haven't really got a reason to. Stick together and let Alex save his P250. He hasn't got a rifle, so you're absolutely fine letting him survive. It is now Renegades posting double digits first. They are going to be 10-7 up on the team side of Inferno after winning a very important pistol round. They fend off not a force buy, but a partial buy from the CTs, and there should be more of the same here, as you can see on your screens right now. On the left-hand side with our wonderful GUI, nothing really available to the CTs here. More of the same, PD50s, some smokes. They've got 3 HEs though. So you have got options. You can throw those down towards the bottom of middle from the CD side or bottom of banana. They've got 5 HEs, so they're going for frags here, and they're not going to focus all 5 in the same area. They'll probably throw 3 from top middle, 2 from banana, hopefully do some damage here. Nice are there. See if any kills are found. They're not going to do them straight away. They're going to let them get to logs first and see if they can do the damage in that regard. Fortunately, it doesn't work out.
Behind barrels, Jacob's going to jump up over. Clears off the corner, MBK. Not able to spot that from his position on Orange's 1, nor will they get a peek aggressively from Apex to see them. But back toward top side mid. Still trying to push Vitality all the way back inside of the A side. ZywOo doesn't want to go easily. He'll try and come back out. Smoke in his hands. Alex has the other one. Both on the A side, just to note. So there's no utility aside from that for them to work with. Should say on that side of the map, Apex and MBK obviously have one over toward B, so the usage of it is the important part. ZywOo's already used, he's already put his out. The counts are off to the left side. As that RPK fades off of it because his vision was lost, but Apex flash down, he wants them to run through. He wants to be dead quiet, the problem is hugging the wall. That's usually the entrance point for the T's as well, and they just spray and they catch him off. MBK, smoked as he is actually going to try and keep himself alive, because why not? Might as well at least get his teammates nearby so they can have a little party about it. Talk things over maybe, come to a peace treaty. Doesn't look likely. ZywOo's going in aggressively. He wants to fight. He's going to go down for it as JKS gets the kill, and Alex might just bail out at this point with armor. Yeah. Although that said, getting AKs out of their hands at this point when you're going to be buying in the next round inevitably, regardless of the outcome and how many guns are taken, it might be worth it to just break that economy down.
Alex has stolen the AK away and he survives. That's actually huge. He's already got armor, and if he gets the AK into the next round, he's going to have a massive chance of doing some damage next. He hits the shot. He actually might do this. This is significant. We know Vitality are fragging hard right now. You give that to the likes of ZywOo, Apex, Specialists with that weapon. You've got a serious chance. Alex, he'll probably hold on to it, to be fair. He's a rifler himself. But we saw the likes of Liaz, also a rifler, giving the AK to JKS. Pairs that are stronger with that particular gun on the CT side. We'll see if Vitality have a similar approach. I doubt it.
Interestingly enough as well, he takes damage, which means he can't upgrade onto the helmet for free, but he's CT side, so that doesn't matter that much because he's going to be going against the AKs. He gains 2,700 for the 650 in armor. That would have been lost. He gets that as well, and he drops another AK, so he's cost them a significant amount.
He actually dropped the AWP, so he really did help them out.
Yeah. ZywOo's going to have that to work with now, and he's still at 5,650. He'll be fully purchased on armor and nades.
So yes, that's actually huge. So Vitality now giving their sniper some foundations financially.
Timeout's called, so we haven't seen the rest of the buy. We're back into freeze time now. I was going to say, ZywOo's the only one to do this because he has the massive wealth. MBK, RPK, not really going to happen for them. They need another kid.
Oh,
I'm surprised they only go with the one. He could.
He could afford it. You should have one at least either site. So on the rotations, you can still be in contention for the kills and the defuse. I think you're right. I think RPK should have bought at least one more kit, but one will do. It's okay. 11-7 though, Vitality. When you start posting rounds on their CT side, it's the first gun rounds. All for ZywOo. That's for his residual cash as well. As he goes to see, holds towards quad right now, looking towards boiler, no one there. Quite passive by his standards, but needs to get the feel of the half first. This is quite common, as we discussed on Cash. First gun round, do something simple in terms of an execution. Smoke towards the hay bales there. RPK taken down, trying to get in there and shut it down before they even get out. Didn't work for him. And ZywOo, he'll hit his first shot, but can he get anything more? Players towards the apartments and the boiler room. Alex, who's fragging back, but it goes back to a 3-on-3.
Alex gets to the corner. Apex wants to swing out the graveyard. He had the right intention, but the wrong man on the other side. Gratisfaction comes out slightly better with the kill. He does go down to 13, and they're not out of the woods yet because the bomb isn't planted. That's a bit risky from MBK. Stands in the flames. He's now on 28 HP, and Lias has taken down his teammate. Bomb is going to go safely back through the apartments to the site. They were trying to actually bait it out. Go all the way back over toward B with 2 players left alive. As soon as that second kill came in, bomb comes back over to the A site.
MBK hoping that they were trying to be a little bit too clever for their own good and send the bomb towards B, but they stick together. That's the right call.
And like I said, they were. It's just the kill on his teammate that was like, all right, MBK's ruled out. I've already Molotov'd them off. You can come back through.
Yeah, and you could see with the conviction Lias had coming out the apartments there, he knew he was low HP as well. He was ready to duel him and take him down before the plan. He wasn't just going to go straight for the C4. So they know he's low, and they're going to win the round. That's 4-0 now on the T side, 12-7 overall, and our third and final map of this exciting series so far. Vitality have got a lot to do. And in terms of the loss bonus, it'll be maxed out after this round. The saved M4 and Zywoo's 2,600 he has right now, I dare say they might buy into it. He's got 6K. NBK can drop an M4. They'll probably have to take a timeout. It is possible to buy here. Don't have to, but I would say it might be worth it considering you're looking down the barrel of 13-7. They'll take the timeout and work out where they're going to go with this. RPK 7-13. That's some great showings, especially on Dust 2. Although they got 16-5, the rounds they did win, he was going off. Not fragging as hard here with 33 ADR. At the very top though, JKS 17-9. Great job from him. He's had some sensational rounds. The pistol, that 3K towards the B site, well, 4 kills in total, really looked sharp throughout the entirety of this best of 3.
Leads the way for ADR as well.
That's right, 98.
Kind of implied, I suppose. Although you could have someone with a massive wealth of assists.
Shoot.
5 assists for Azza. But not backing up my point, he's the lowest on ADR at 55.
It was a good try. Here we go then. They do buy up. Zywoo goes for the AWP. Lose this though. They're down to Eco and 13-7 down, but there's enough. FAMASs have to come out and they need Zywoo to position himself in a way where he can steal that first kill. He's gone towards the apartment, so it won't be instant gratification, but hopefully Terrorist will walk into his crosshair. JKS would be the one if it comes through.
He's waited there in the pistol. As you mentioned, he had a great pistol round. He waited there to catch off the push. Tries to spray through on the AK. Pretty rare we see that spray work. He's pre-firing the set angle to the top of the hall. There's the counter spray you can do down through the door from the CT side. Never really amounts to much. I wouldn't mention it if I was limited to a postcard. JKS backs off. Smoke down. Not sure if he heard them scurrying in toward the boiler door or not. But if he did, he knows they're going to be far from B, and B is the head. Vitality yet to win around on the CT side. They want this one. Apex starts it off, but it's traded immediately. JKS to get the frag. MBK still a new box. Shot toward the pillar, and Lias danced around it perfectly. Smokes down both in front of Ruins and CT. Alex tries to spray in, and JKS yet again adds a second to his total in this round. And it looks like another to the total of Renegades with 13.
Not really worth giving the wallbang of the FAMAS there, because not only you could do very little damage, this gives away a position, as Alex found out. And it's going to be another round on the board for Renegades. Maximum loss finish, yes, but Zywoo will have to save this AWP to give them anything in the next round. My goodness. The B execution that is playing off simple strategies right now. First gun round, Apps explosion with 2 smokes. Next round after that, knowing the CTs are weak, B execution. Similar to Dust 2, nothing too technical. No crazy fakes coming in, making sure they hit their shots and capitalize upon the advantages they've gathered for themselves. 13-7 on the T side for Renegades. They haven't dropped a single round in the second half so far. Might need another timeout here for Vitality. They saved the AWP and a FAMAS. They can buy again. Apex at 5,300. Alex has been given the AWP, but he'll throw it back to Zywoo. Here's the replay of JKS finding the entry kills. Through the smoke after Alex expended 25 bullets towards the bomb planter. The buy's not too bad overall. So Vitality made the correct call there, saving their weapons. But really need to start posting some rounds now. It's getting to that real scary moment for them. It's a few rounds away from allowing Renegades through to the round of 8. The Legends stage.
So just sneaking his way up Banana silently. Again, Vitality yet to win a round on this defensive side, this CT side. Zywoo waiting to try and get a shot, perhaps down mid. Is he going to peek it late? He's pre-scoped. I suspect he goes for this. Oh, he does! He overlooked the spot, nearly got caught out for it. Likewise, nearly shot back to find it. Narrow miss on either side. Spray goes through the wall to catch him in transition back toward Quad. He now knows they're inside boiler, blinded off. He wanted to re-peek it, just Poor timing, unfortunately, for him, and he's this time got to go all the way back through the site, perhaps even back all the way over toward B. Stay dynamic and unexpected on that op. At least he rotates to Arch. Apex has the idea to get aggressive with Alex. Crossfire set. But unfortunately for them, they're accumulating themselves to smoke out. Not even. It's a flash. JKS caught. It's a deep smoke behind them instead.
They'll use that Q to make their way towards the B side. MBK with just a FAMAS, not the best weapon for this scenario. He does decent damage towards Granite Faction, but he's the only player there. They smoked off Spawn, and he does even more. Gets another dink there. So MBK work his weight in gold towards the B bomb site, but now dropped.
As they're trying to sneak out. Bomb drop, not planted, but he's got to cut off RPK. That gives them Banana. Now a default with it sitting as it is. He controls the situation even against Zywoo, who wants to take shots. He doesn't have to do anything, RPK. He just waits till the late position. And it is going to be Jacob to get two. Zywoo got one on Gratisfaction, but again, with the Banana control, Azza can rotate not only down to catch him off and take away the gun, he just absolutely stood there to deny any chance of a defuse.
That's unreal from Jacob there. I thought Zywoo might be able to do something with that, but Renegades looked like they were giving him a little bit too much respect. They could have challenged him together and taken down the sniper, but it actually worked out for the best as Azza takes down the final player as well. That's Alex. They go 14-7 now. 2 rounds away from making it to the next stage, getting a few days off as well. They've played their hearts out so far this major, and their T side of Inferno looks impeccable. Made all the correct calls, and this was a wonderful play from Jacob. And Azza takes down the 5th member as well. They'll have to take another timeout here. 1 round away from series points. They're going to buy, of course. CTs will bring out MP9s for masses. It's not looking too good so far. A really ropey buy heading into a very important round. MBK the last to buy, 4K to his name.
They are Lions right now on the French Lion. I was going to say on the Renegade side because they're having a meal of this, but I missed the stat that time. Memes everywhere.
It was just a funny little joke.
It's what they do.
Look at all the rounds won by Renegades have all been due to the bomb exploding.
It's a good point. The saves have been there for Vitality, which is giving them a better chance of holding weapons over. Giving them a better chance of having a fight, a say in the argument. But unfortunately, they haven't won any. That's the bottom line. They have not won a round on the CT side of Inferno, and that speaks to itself, I think. Okay, incendiary outs, high side of Banana, deep one from Apex, that covers off the entire lane. And it actually means with the nade stack, they take down Leah's brilliantly, but they can also re-establish a presence inside of Banana, and the SMGs, with the damage already done, are applicable. That's more Astralis-esque. That's certainly one way to retake it.
Yeah, that's much better. Vitality taking the game to the tees there, even with the lesser weaponry, had to be a little bit more creative with their approach. Incendiaries to lock them in towards the logs. Double nade. They managed to get a couple of kills, but Jacob's still alive. He has looked really strong throughout his best of 3. His rifle skills back to where they were a couple of years ago. It's been a while since we had real conversations about him being a really strong, dangerous rifler. But right now, I think he's absolute best.
He's the forgotten member of the LGB lineup as well.
With Olaf Rain, right?
Yep, Olaf Rain. Crims was in there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there was different versions of it, but he was in there.
It essentially became the core for the dominant Fnatic. JKS with 2. He might find a 3rd because he had the information to Alex. Another multiple kill round for him. It's another chance to try and clutch back a situation where they were offset, that Vitality had a healthy advantage. JKS unaware that NBK was behind, nearly turned in time, and finally Vitality will get a defuse.
They had a 5 versus 3, but it goes right down to the 1 versus 1. Yes, Vitality win, but they're only going to get $3,500 per player now. They've got 4 players to kind of reinvest into. They've denied series points so far, but NBK is going to have to drop a weapon at least. They've got $3,500 on RPK. Same story for Zywoo. No chance getting the Zorp out. Might need to take another timeout and work out what the approach is here. They'll give the AK to Zywoo. That's what you want to see. So MBK's just saying, you're the star. You can win us these rounds. You're hitting all your shots right now. You take it. And it's kind of crazy to think he's the main AWP of the squad. And also, from what we can see, the main rifler as well. He can do it all. He is a true star in the making. His first major. Everyone's been talking about him for the last year or so. Finally here. And could he be the catalyst to the success of Vitality here on a massive comeback? given the responsibility of the only real rifle. There is an M4 as well just today, but I guess that's enough.
I got your point. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You don't like the M4. That's what you're saying.
I actually love the M4. It has the old razzle-dazzle, the aim.
For the AUG myself.
If I had to play, sure. I prefer
just messing
spectating.
with you. Well, 2 to go for Renegades. Vitality getting the last round, but this one's not going to be easy for all the reasons you've stated. Zaiwu. A deep smoke. KM off the angle. Nade alone, double peek. I think they go straight to the boiler door. He's gonna have to be careful. In fact, he's jumped away, so they're gonna get safely back down middle toward Banana. And JKS was the only one left. He did have bomb, but he realized that problem. It still could be, though. If they peek him and he goes down, he's still taking the fight. And they're already in Banana. Thankfully, now they'll send someone other than him back to get it. That'll slow down their push on B. But he's still lurking correctly in toward the apartment. And maybe with that alone, the fact that they've had to go back to get it, they'll wait and see what else he finds. Because pressure on Banana, and it's back the other way once more.
Zaiwu, you see him communicating there. He feels like it's a fake, and indeed it is. As I rotate back towards A, pressure applied towards Alex once again. He's had some good moments here, unable to close out the rounds though. A couple of kills make it 3. This is what we needed to see from him. 8 seconds remain. The bomb will be planted. Can they rush in and deny it? They might be able to. It's going to go not down. Okay, it's all down to Alex there. Finally, one of his big performances pays off. He gets 3 kills and denies everything, buys his teammates time there to actually stop the bomb going down. They might have a say in this game. It's not all over yet, man.
And even his positioning, he would have been hyper aware based on the call from Zaiwu. You said it. He was communicating that it was going to go back over toward A, so he was ready. Found 3, and then they deny the plant with 3 seconds left and win the round on kills. 2 in a row. They avoid the reset, but money enough for Renegades because they won. Do the math quickly in my head here. 6 rounds in a row.
Still plenty of money here for the T side. They haven't been broken yet, but they're getting there. Vitality managed to find some form right in the nick of time. Now they have the rifles they need. M4s, AKs, no warp yet, but still, this is enough. They win this round, they'll get double digits. We'll start having that conversation as to whether they can go for the full reverse sweep here.
Flash goes high. NBK, corner. Cuddling up to the wall, trying to avoid all the utility going his way. He'll get some to bail him out. A good flash assist, but it's only for 1. Gratisfaction not caught by that. He's able to swing, and NBK goes down. It's a 4-on-4.
A messy exchange there. I think NBK will be happy to win that duel. We'll see ourselves now. With 1 minute remaining. Smoke's available, and RPK needs to be careful. They can't afford to go down with nothing. Smartly will smoke it down, and Zaiwu with the AK. Remember, given that weapon previously to carry these sort of rounds. He sits towards quad right now.
Saw the smoke come out, but went with a flash, looked away in Apex. He pushed it. He pushed it because he knew Zaiwu was still at quad to control the situation. Bomb going down. They've rectified the loss early on, the trade that splits up the defense, but JKS is still working with Gratisfaction, who's opening up the B site. They try to catch him off. He's got both. He's going to get to B. That would have been the round in itself. It still might be because Bomb's gone. RPK, I thought he expected the 3rd sooner. He should have booked it after 2.
Just that moment of hesitation there. They're going to meet each other in the arch, and it's RPK that wins out the round. JKS with a phenomenal showing there towards middle. He read it so well. If he had knifed out and just ran towards B straight away, he actually had a second or so to get around the corner, go plant that bomb. He hesitated for a moment. He was suspicious of a 3rd player coming around the corner. Let's just see if we can break this down. He knifes out and he kind of checks it again. He stops at that moment to see if the CT re-peaks, which he did after he decided to get out of there. If he had just knifed out all the way, he would have won the round hands down. He did such good work there. But there it is, double digits now, and we've got a first proper ego from Renegades in this second half. They are going to partial buy it. They're going to have CZ's Deagles here as loss bonus racks up, but still, Vitality now right back in this game. They can do this.
Grat now on pistols. You're right, Vitality. They might be able to do this. How close have Renegades come in so many rounds? This time JKS, he starts it off on the Deagle, the kill that probably would have won him last time.
How sick is JKS playing right now?
Take it back, it's NBK, not RPK that he got. But you're right, he is playing ridiculously well.
So good to watch. When he's hitting shots, he's a bit of an animal. 2 players towards quad still. Nice position from Zaiwu. Not a common one. Tease, though, with a bit of utility. It pushes towards middle, but RPK will deal with that. So will Apex. And working out for a couple of players here as they look to fend off these remaining pistols. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. Leaz will do a little bit of damage there, but it's Gratisfaction who will have to hold in the apartments for now. Nothing he can really do apart from steal 1 kill away. And Vitality have done it again. They recover from the 5-on-4, make it a clean round.
It's back through. 3 men chasing down Gratisfaction. They'll remove him and the bomb from his body. They'll add an 11th round to their score. M4's purchased up, to go along with the AK-47. Didn't elect to go onto the AUG, but they will bring out an op to get rid of one of the MP9s. That's important, because it will be a full purchase on the T side. They even thought about an AWP, it appeared. But it's 5 AKs.
Apex will stay on the MP9. Not able to upgrade it just yet, but Zyro on his AWP. I'm sure they'll be fine. Renegades just want to get that 15th round. Guarantee overtime at least. Apex, that's an ambitious challenge. He's got an MP9 and he's facing that angle. Only is he risking going down there like he was standing in flames. He'll take a lot of damage for it. They had to smoke a T-steps at least. But still, 5 alive on either side. This is the standard default now from Renegades. They have not got the B control. And they'll be comfortable to send 4 players in total towards the A side and the CT side. It's just MBK holding with the rifle battles.
RPK back around by the hay bales. He's going to change position. He'll go up above and join Alex. They're expecting a fast entrance, but again, they get the opening pick. 2 rounds, that's all Renegades need. That seems to be a hard task suddenly, as it's been 4 in a row for Vitality.
Yeah, you're right there. It all started with a CZ MP9 rounds.
This map is a series within the series. Dominant opening by Renegades, response by Vitality. Lead by Renegades this time, response by Vitality.
What a great response it was, though. The fact they managed to scramble back into the game, but not done yet. Still need to find a few kills here. MBK looks like he's confirming things. Apex with his MP9 play actually doing fantastic work there to set MBK up for the cleanup. It's going to be 14-12 now. They have got enough to buy on the Renegade side. Actually, take that back. 3,600 on Leaz. 3,700 for Jacob. They have to take a partial buy here. Vitality are bringing this right back. It's not comfortable yet, but they're closing the gap round by round. After losing 6 in a row to open up the second half, they've answered back with 5 of theirs. MBK really coming into his own into the latter stages of this second half. Will we see overtime? Be a great way to close it out. We'll see if it comes through, as they will take a tactical timeout here. Renegades need to take just a pistol round again. CZ's arm up, some smokes. That's exactly what's going to be purchased now. As Kassad will get a chance to chime in.
Certainly answered it. We're back to within 1. 5 in a row. 20 kills for Apex. Very slow start for him on Dust 2. We mentioned that. Did catch up to his teammates eventually, but considering how highly he's been rated in this event. It's not what you would have expected, and it's not certainly what Vitality needed. They're getting it from him now. Pistols again, as you mentioned, so it's going to be a tough order. They'll try and go quickly toward A. Lea's just making sure no one's pushed down Banana. He'll hold so that they'll have a security in the push. Smoke off left side, wrap towards the AWP. You could certainly overwhelm them. You could certainly try and run him down with pistols, and then he's blinded up. He gets inside of the arch, trying to get the Molotov out in time. He can't, but Apex is cleverly snuck in. They picked up the AWP. Gratisfaction hits a brilliant shot with it.
Of course, it's him that finds the AWP. Could this be the round where they get series point? MBK will have to hold strong towards B. Surrounded though, surely he doesn't find more than 2. JKS trying to wiggle him out here, but MBK is making this happen. He's finding absolutely everyone here, but Jacob brings it back. It's a 1 versus 1. RPK up against a low HP Gratisfaction.
The problem is he's on 12. Gratisfaction at 5 as an op, so he's going to want the one-hit wonder. A pistol would do at this point in time. That's the op he picked up to recover as well. 30 seconds. What a round. This dictates the entire match. Smoke should secure the plant. He's going to do it open as well. AWP to hold this is still such a huge risk, and RPK knows he can't make one wrong step in this situation. He's got a nade. That would do it alone. If we knew the situation on HP, that would. If he could find exactly where Gratisfaction's playing from. Smoke himself to get it on top of the bomb, I have a suspicion it's not going to go that far. With these two players bleeding as they are, this comes to kills. And RPK, he starts the hunt. I imagine he swings this. He wants to clear the entire left side, but the pistol works. Gratisfaction apparently knew, and it is going to be map and series point for Renegades.
RPK just didn't have any information or the confidence to be very aggressive with it. No HP for him, but Gratisfaction steps up just when they need him there. CZ's towards the arch, and if anyone's going to pick up that AWP, they're so lucky it's him. Probably the only player capable of hitting this shot we're about to see here. Jump straight out, boom, right in the head, takes Apex down. It was such a back and forth affair. MBK got 3 kills there. It looked like he pulled it back, but it comes right down to that moment, and you can see Kassad, he's going to love this. There it is. Does he get a kiss, though? That's the question.
Deserves one, doesn't he? 3-kill round on that situation. And Zywoo's going to be kicking himself. He's played so well all tournament. The one round he gets overrun by pistols, gets caught out of position. It's a nightmare for them because now Vitality have to win 3, force overtime.
What a nuts round that was. MBK's if he gutted at that. They couldn't ask for anything more from him there. He was isolated. Players coming from Spawn, Ruins, and Banana. He gets 3. He does damage to a 4th, and still it wasn't enough. RPK tagged up in all the madness, left with 5 points of health, and Gratisfaction closes it out. They now have series point. One more round will get Renegades into the final 8 teams of the tournament. MBK once again taking matters into his own hands.
It's a place they've never been, the top 8 on the Australian side. Alex is going to join MBK. Good damage done. Keep in mind as well, this is a reset for Renegades if they go down. But JKS burns too. They were tagged so aggressively from being at the bottom of mid that they burn alive and forget the reset. It might be done. It's on to Zywoo. He's got to make amends for last round in a 1-on-4. 3 players on low HP. Point I was going to make is if they somehow win this, if he can pull this off, they'll be broken and we hit round 30 pretty much.
This, man.
Listen, man, I'm trying to build him up.
He's going to have to do something unbelievable. Like, if they give this round up, they might as well call it GG. There should be no way the Orbi gets anything done here.
They've left him a gap. There's no kit, however, and that makes things extremely difficult to find for the Aussies into the top 8. Last week, people were discounting them already. They got through on 3-0. They beat Ents to do it. They beat Ents to start off this week as well. And now, surprising everyone, including the only team to take a map off Astralis, they find themselves in the playoffs in the Sputnik. They are legends for the first time, and they'll be in the top 8 next week.
No one believed in this team when they first arrived. Renegades have been struggling for a couple of years now, never really making a dent in the big tournaments, let alone the majors. And finally, they're looking dangerous. We know they've got the talent, and it's finally being realized. Kassad coming in has found this form, and Gratisfaction turns up. JKS plays a tournament in his career. It's looking so good for them. They're still only halfway through this path towards the championship, but this is a very good-looking squad that has the theory down, the firepower there, and they could go all the way if they keep this up.
And what now for Vitality? They're not out of this. They fall to 2-2, but there's going to be so many teams waiting to absolutely take it away from them. Well done, Renegades. Legends for the first time. And on the desk, an Australian that now has some pride, I imagine. He's going to be standing by with the analysts.
Thank you very much. And what is certainly a tremendous moment here for not only Australia, not only New Zealand, but the Oceanic region as a whole. And for what it's worth, an impressive showing here for the Renegades. And I ultimately want to say this is a feels good man. We do have a Renegades alumni here on the desk with us right now. Can see that little bit of a quiver in his eye. Don't think it's going to break it to a full-on tear, but you got to have some happiness in there in that one, Chad.
Yeah, look at Kassad right here. That emotion is something that I'm feeling as well. And this round right here, that was the strat we highlighted in the pre-game, and it works. Gratisfaction coming out absolutely clutch yet again. This is the round that broke Vitality.
It was an unreal showing, an unreal display of firepower here from JKS2, finishing out this map 31-16, 103.7 ADR, and quite the showing overall, huh, Sean?
Such an impressive showing coming out of Renegades and JKS in particular. I thought Gratisfaction had so many key moments in this match, including obviously this Eek round. There's the pit smoke round where he gets those, I believe, 3 massive frags, and that put him on around 12 rounds early in this game, winning both pistols. The Renegades honestly continue to shock the world.
Just look, Trace, how well he plays the situation, right? The fact of the matter is he has the AWP, he drops the smoke, he knows where the player is, it gives him a chance to reposition to get the bomb down. But he doesn't realize that RPK actually has a grenade. If he had gone to a position, made the scope known, RPK could have just naded him, that would have been done. But here he's just able to position, get close with the CZ, and eventually he finds the kill. This is the round that wins the game.
Well, they did say he would never be anything more than a protege, but if you watch that matchup and if you watch the Renegades, there's not a whole lot more to say. We are going to have an interview with Azza right now, standing down on the sidelines with what is Frankie. Take it away.
What is Frankie? Frankie is this, and I am stoked to be talking to Azza right now. Azza, first of all, I need you to take me on a trip down memory lane. What happened in 2014 when a major was last in Katowice?
For us, we got knocked out in the group stages. I know it was a long time ago and I can't really remember. I'm just feeling a lot of emotions right now.
But do you remember what it felt like to be in Vox Terminal and get knocked out in that top 16?
Oh yeah, it was definitely rough, and back then when it was just me, Chad, Sniper, Havoc, and Top Gun, and we were just, back then everyone was working still, no one was professional, and from now to actually finally make it to Legends is, it feels amazing.
You just mentioned the P word, professional. How did you bring the team to this form?
I don't know. Me and Alex, we did a game plan. We work really well together, and everyone's listening. And I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, you are the first. I think you're the first Australian roster to actually make it to the top 8 of a major. This is extremely incredible. What does this team mean to you?
It feels amazing. I love these boys. I don't know, it's a dream come true, really. Been waiting this for a long time. So yeah, it feels great.
And do you have any final words for your coach, Kassad, as well? Because I think he's the most emotional of you all.
He's crying like a little bitch. He's very emotional right now. He's very happy. Obviously, to get the top 8 means a lot to him, as much to us. So a lot to credit to him. He's been hardworking with all of us, so it's solid.
Well, Azza, I'm going to let you go celebrate with the boys, because we need to head back to the desk, including a man who didn't ever make it to the top 8 of a major. I think he's called Chad?
What?
Now, the jabs are there, and while the double negatives are as well, Chad is certainly not a negative. In fact, I think he's quite the positive here for us.
Yeah, they know that the only reason I predict against them is so they actually can win. So I never gave up on JKS and Azza. The fact is, those two individuals, I got to see firsthand how good they are.
Right.
And now it's finally been realized, and everybody gets to see it here on the big stage. And they get to play in front of that crowd in the Spodek. I'm so proud of them.
Yeah, and Chad, you can say pride, and I think, you know, Sean and I can sit here and look at you and see it in your eyes, and the reality of the situation, the gravitas that is what has just transpired, is top 8 for an Australian dominantly team.
We didn't really get a lot of chances to stand out in 1.6 or Source. You know, for us, it was few and far between. In CSGO, we had the opportunity to go full-time professionals, and these boys have continued to wave the flag and build a foundation for gamers to come for years in Australia. This is huge.
And since we'll be parting ways with you after this juncture, Sean, you got any closing words for us?
No, I'm just really proud of what the Renegades were able to accomplish. I mean, this is a core that has been together, like Chad said, for so long, and for them to keep working so hard. They've been in Katowice now for 6 weeks. You can just see what it means to Kassad and the team.
Well, Kassad and the team will be moving on into the playoffs. That's right. The boys have done it. And if you saw that ticker, you saw what I did. Yes, indeed. In fact, we're going to be moving on with the show. We do have another matchup coming your way. Another 2-1 game. It's going to be Nada Spencer taking on Avangard in a CIS bout. You don't want to miss this one. We'll be right back with the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice Major.